All right, good evening, everyone. Yeah, welcome to our online class. Can someone just please confirm you can hear me before we go ahead? Thank you very much for the confirmation. I think we need to start. I was trying to wait for some of our colleagues to join, and hopefully they are going to join us as we move on. Yesterday, we continued our group accounting. Last 2 weeks, we started basic group accounts, and yesterday we started looking into changes in group accounts. Obviously, that's changes in group structure, and obviously that talks about complex group accounts. So we started from a situation where you have a mid-year acquisition, if you can remember, and we said once you have mid-year acquisition, that means you didn't acquire at the start of an accounting period. All you need to do is to consolidate all of the asset and liability fully. But when it comes to statement of profit or loss account, you're going to prorate. It has to start from when control was actually obtained. So we take a look at a question, if I can remember, where we try to demonstrate how you go about those proration. And then from there, we went to take a look at what happens around step acquisition, otherwise known as piecemeal acquisition. So say, for example, you have investment in associates, say 40%, then at a later date, you buy, let's say another 20%, where you now obtain control. Okay, so that means you buy or your control in stages or in steps, right? So that's what is called step acquisition. And I remember I said, whenever you have step acquisition, once you are able to determine that the question you are dealing with is all about step acquisition, then three things will happen. Okay, three things is going to happen when you have a step acquisition. You are going to remeasure the previously held equity interest to their fair value. If you can remember, you are going to remeasure them to their fair value as previously held equity interest. All right. Then any gain or loss you recognize straight away in the profit or loss account. Then you now measure your goodwill, NCI on a full or partial basis. Okay, so that's obviously what you are going to do. And of course, I took you through the pro forma that you use once you have a step acquisition. So we said the pro forma is that you are going to recompute your goodwill. And I stylishly told you to say you are already familiar with that pro forma, if you can remember. It's just only one item that was introduced when it comes to that pro forma. For example, how do I compute my goodwill? I look at consideration transfer. I had my NCI, so I have my total investment. Okay, then I remove a fair value of net asset acquired at the date of acquisition. Then I have my goodwill. If there is impairment, I apply, right? And the examiner gives me the recoverable amount of net assets. Obviously, I'm going to compute, my impairment for me to know how much I'm going to apply on my goodwill. So you are conversant with that. So when that comes to step acquisition, goodwill is going to be computed. Okay, so all you need to do is to say fair value of previously held interest. Okay, fair value of previously held interest or equity interest. Then you also look at the fair value of consideration for additional interest. I'm acquiring additional interest that makes me to obtain control. So I look at the fair value of the consideration for additional interest. That's the only line that has been introduced. Okay, so you're conversant with goodwill computation before now. Then you now add your NCI at acquisition, and of course you now less your net asset at acquisition. So it gives me my goodwill. So that's the issue that you're dealing with when it comes to step acquisition. But something occurred to me this evening, and I think I remember we solved about one or two questions. I went to the marker board to try to, solve that for you. Something occurred to me this evening. So most likely, we're going to complete disposal. We started disposal from step acquisition, I took it up on a disposal. I think we looked at about 2 illustrations, then we ended it yesterday. So we're going to complete disposal today. So the only thing we have left is control to control situation as ACCA syllabus is concerned. Okay, and I don't really want to rush because the compulsory question is going to come around this area. It could be step acquisition, it could be step acquisition mixed with media acquisition. It could also be disposal of subsidiary, and it could also be control to control scenario. So we need to really know all those three stuffs properly. Okay, so most likely tomorrow I'm going to pull up a lot of ACCA past questions that, standard exam question. Most likely we're just going to solve it around step acquisition and disposal of subsidiary. So that's most likely I'm going to do tomorrow. So that next week we'll now complete the control to control scenario. So what happens if I have 75%? Then I buy additional 5%. That means my control has increased. Okay, it's control to control. Remember I told you yesterday, if it's control to control, goodwill will not be calculated. But what has happened is that my ACI would have reduced. Okay, so don't worry, don't even bother you about that. So when we get there, I'm going to, explain that. So let's continue. I'm going to take it very slowly. Once we're able to consume the question we have here, whatever time we finish, even before the normal time, I'm going to end the class, all right? So that I really want you to sit on this and understand better. So there's no point in rushing. So I'll check the time that we have left, the standards that are remaining. We are comfortable. So we're going to really, cover them, okay? So, so I'll continue with my disposal of subsidiary. So I gave you 3 scenarios yesterday, if you can remember. I said when the disposal scenarios can be into 3, okay? So you need to know this because the examiner can ask you, how do you account for the remaining investment in that subsidiary? So let's say, for example, I have control over the subsidiary. Let's say I have 75% control, and I decide to dispose all of them. So I can decide to dispose. That's what we call full disposal, okay? I decide to sell, to dispose of that subsidiary. That's scenario 1. Scenario 2, I can decide to dispose part of my investment, okay, in subsidiary. For example, I have 75%, I decide to sell 35%, okay. So when I sell 35 out of, what's it called, 45, I have some percentage left, okay. So the residual interest that I have left, I will ask, is it within 20% and 50%? If the answer is yes, I will account for it using under equity method of accounting under IS 28, investment in associates, and of course, joint venture, okay? Now, if I sell off, say I have 75 and I sell, let's say, 65%, for example, I have 10% left, okay? So that falls within 1% and 90%, and that is simple investment. I apply IFRS 9 financial instrument, okay? So you need to understand that. So that is 3 scenarios that, disposer can come into. So any of those scenarios, their computation is quite similar, like we have seen yesterday. So I'm still going to go more into solving, more questions. And I also gave you a pro forma, for you to compute when you have a disposal of subsidiary, okay? Then you look at there are 2 issues here. It's either the examiner is saying, how will the disposal be treated in the individual's financial statement? That's for the parent company. How is it going to be treated? It's very straightforward. So you just look at the sales proceed, all right? How much did I sell it? Then you remove the kind amount of investment, okay, in that subsidiary, so that you can have either profit or loss or on what's it called, disposal, okay? So you look at the in the individual financial statement. So that's to be sales proceed, then you less the kind amount of what's it called, the investment, usually the cost of that investment. They will tell you that on 1st January 2021, AB acquired AC for 100 million naira, for example. So that's a cost. So just remove from how much I eventually dispose. That's on the individual financial statement. When it comes to the group accounting, in the consolidated account, how do I account for disposal? Okay, so remember that the pro forma as well. So you look at sales proceed, that disposal proceed, then you have a figure. Then you now look at fair value of interest retained. Okay, so that means if I did not do full disposal, if I do full disposal, obviously my fair value of interest retained is going to be 0. All right, my fair value of interest retained is going to be 0. Okay, so let me even see. Sorry, I want to see whether I can do that on the marker. But obviously, we did it yesterday. So let me just use a question to demonstrate that. Then, once I have those two components, I told you that when you study by logic. Once it's a disposal and it relates to consolidated account, 5 things, 5 items. That's what I needed. Although the calculation might be complex or might be complicated, but once you already know your principle, even if you don't get 100% correctly, at least you're able to attempt it to a very reasonable extent. So 5 items: sales proceed, that disposal proceed. Then if I have fair value of interest retained, I add them together. Then on the other side, I will now less interest in the subsidiary disposed of. There are 3 things. I already have 2 things up there, 5 in total. So 3 things. I look at net asset at disposal. That's the net asset of the subsidiary at disposal date. I look at goodwill at disposal. The examiner did not give me net assets. Obviously, I know how to compute my net assets. Okay. I've done that under basic group accounting. Then I look at the goodwill. If it did not give me goodwill, I know what to do. If that give me information that forms how to compute my goodwill, I put it up there. I will now less the kind amount of NCI at disposal date. Okay, I less from those 2 other figures. The balance is what I go to net off from the sales proceed to determine whether there is profit or loss on disposal. I demonstrated yesterday. I'm still going to demonstrate it this evening. That's what we are doing throughout today. So I still want to go much deeper on disposal of subsidiary. Okay, so because it's quite emphasized, even in ICANN syllabus, you need to know it before you enter into your exam hall. If the examiner now gives you tax rates, you could say 25%, you could say 30%, whatever. Once you have profits, then you apply the tax figure on that profit straight up. Okay, it will increase the current tax expense for that year. It's as simple as that. Obviously, if it is loss, I cannot pay profit on tax on loss. Okay, so that means my what's it called? My tax will be 0. Okay, because I made a loss. Okay, so let's look at this question. I think we were about to do this yesterday when I stopped. So let's see whether we can solve this question. Now, if you look at the requirement, it says, what is the profit or loss on disposal for inclusion in the consolidated statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st December 20x6? Okay, now, so I already know it said for consolidated account. So obviously, it's asking me how is it going to affect the group accounting? Okay, so that's what the examiner is asking me to do here. Then I will now say, let's now look at the question. Thomas disposed of 25% holding in Percy on 30th June 2006 for $125,000. A 70% holding in Percy had been acquired 5 years prior to this. Thomas uses full goodwill method. Goodwill was impaired and written off in full to the year of prior to the year of disposal. So we're given the details: net asset at disposal, fair value of 45% holding at 30th June 2006. Then the kind amount of NCI is how much is that? $80,000 at disposal. So now say, what is the profit or loss on disposal? So let's even assume the examiner says, what will be the accounting treatment in the consolidated accounts? So how do I know that this is a disposal question? Disposal of subsidiary. I said Thomas disposed of. Okay, so I don't need this to say to tell me in the example that this is disposal. So once I know it is disposal, I ask the second question: am I treating it in the individual's account or in the consolidated account? So it said, what is a profit or loss on disposal to be included in the consolidated account? Okay, so can you see that? So it said consolidation. So now, once it is consolidation, I already know that I needed a pro forma, which is that 5 items that we talked about. So forget all those stories they must have said there. So just be guided by those items in that pro forma. So you now need to work yourself around that. Okay, so let me see if I can quickly solve this question on the board. Let me see if I can share that with you. Okay, I'm looking for the board. Okay, it's found. Okay, so I believe you can see the screen. Okay, so what do we do here? So I'll just pick the question and try to see if you can solve that. Okay. Now, so I say, let me see. Okay, right. So, so the examiner is asking me that I should compute profit, okay, profit or loss on disposal or subsidiary. Okay, so I already know this is what I'm doing. So I have my, I'm not sure, can I, let me see if I can do a ruler here. Okay, so don't mind my handwriting. So I have my dollar sign here. I have my dollar sign here. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. So I just go to my sheet and try to do this. Okay, so I remember my pro forma. Okay, so I will say, so the first thing is disposal proceeds. Disposal proceeds. Okay, so I look at the question and I ask, where is my disposal proceed? If you see, it said Thomas disposed of a 25% holding in Percy on 30th June 2026 for $125. Okay, so $125. Can you see now? So that's how to interpret questions. So I already have that. Okay, then I have the second thing I need to do. So since it's selling 25%, and he said he actually had 70%, that means this is partial disposal. Okay, partial disposal. So I'll now say fair value of interest, okay, retained. Okay, so because I did not do full disposal. If I've done full disposal, this would have been zero. So it tells me, now look at the distance, it says fair value of a 45% holding at 30th June is 245,000. Okay, brilliant. So I put it up here so I can decide to add up. So if I press my calculator, I will have something like 370,000. Okay, so that's what we are having. I needed 3 more items. Can you see now? So that's how to do this systematically. I needed 3 more items. I'll now say less interest in subsidiary disposed. Okay, disposed of. All right. So three things. So I needed my net asset. So that would be the net asset of the subsidiary at disposal. Let me just manage space. All right. So I look at the question, where is the net asset at disposal? So this question has given me. If he has not given me, how do I compute it? I'm going to show you in another question. Okay. So it said 340. Right? Can you see that? 340,000. So I'm just looking at the question. Then I will now ask, the next question is goodwill at disposal. Okay, goodwill at disposal. Now, when I look at this question, it did not give me goodwill at disposal. If you can see that, it didn't give me goodwill at disposal. And I needed some information to compute my goodwill. Number one, what is the cost when I purchase the subsidiary? It did not give me. Okay, even though it gives me value for NCI, even if value for NCI is at disposal date. So obviously my goodwill is zero. So it didn't give me goodwill at disposal. So I'll now say less carrying amount of NCI. Okay, at what? At disposal. Okay, so I will less carrying amount of NCI at disposal. So we already said it is 80. So already giving me that. So I take it into jacket. So if I do, if I remove 80 from 340, that should give me, that should be 260, right? Okay, so I have 260 here. So I can remove that. But I have my final figure. So if I remove 260 from 370, is that 110? Am I correct? Okay, I'm not pressing calculator tonight. What's happening? Okay, so I'll now say profit on disposal. Okay, profit on disposal. And that's the end of that question. Now, how, if you look at that, okay, it did not ask me how the remaining investment, that 45% be accounted for. Obviously, you apply IAS 28. So that remaining investment is already measured at fair value. So we recognize it at fair value of 245. Remember, there's a remaining investment here. Let me show you that on my marker here. So this is my remaining investment. Can you see? So it's recognized at fair value. Okay, so it will now be accounted for under equity method of accounting under IAS 28. Okay, so that is that. That is that. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Remember, I'm using all of this question to build your confidence. So by the time we solve some bigger question, maybe tomorrow, then you will be ready for the exam. Any question for me on this? I think this is quite straightforward, right? Okay. Let me go back to the slide and see whether we can move forward from there. Okay, so we have dealt with this question. Obviously, we got it correctly. Okay, so I just did that for you. Now, let's look at question 2. Let's look at question 2. Let's see whether we can see something that is complicated there that we can try to unravel. Now, let me look at the requirement so that when I'm reading, I already have in mind what I'm supposed to do. It said, calculate profit or loss arising to the parent entity on the disposal. So here, it's asking me to compute for individual accounts. That's for the parent alone. 2 things. I only needed 2 things: sales proceed and the kind amount of investment that was sold. As simple as that. Then I know whether it's profit or loss. Then it has to calculate profit or loss arising from the group. So this one talks about from the group perspective. So what happens? I needed 5 things. Okay, I needed 5 things. I ask, am I giving? Am I giving? Am I giving? If I'm not giving, just like the one we did earlier, we're not giving goodwill, and we're not giving the component for us to compute goodwill. I move on. Okay. Now, so let's now look at the question. It said, Patstal purchased 80% shares of St. Mary for 4 years ago for $100,000. On 30th June, it sold all of these shares for $250. So it sold all. That is full disposal. Okay. So you need to understand that. So he said it's sold. So here, the examiner did not say disposed. He says sold. It's the same. Right? It's the same. So you need to understand for $250,000. The net asset of St. Mary is at acquisition date were $69,000 and at disposal date were $88,000. 50% of the goodwill arising on acquisition has been written off. So you need to take note of that. So they already told me that 50% has been written off. That's impairment. Then the fair value of NCI of St. Mary at the date of acquisition was $15,000. It is a good policy to measure goodwill using full goodwill method, and we're giving tax of 30%. So now said I should compute. Okay, so what do we do from here? What do we do from here? So I need to go to my board so that I can also try to demonstrate this for us. Okay, so I think I see some complications here. Here, they're given goodwill, impairment is there, and all of that. So how do we go about that? Okay, so let's see whether I can get my board again. All right, brilliant. So we are here. So can I try to see if I can erase this? Okay, so the board is clear. Aha. So what do we do here? The question. Patstal. Okay. So I come to my note. I say Patstal. Patstal. Right. Okay. So this one I'm doing. And then obviously this is full disposal. Okay, full disposal of subsidiary. Okay. Now, so what did this one want me to do? He said I should compute, I want to do in the part A of that question, individual accounts, right? Individual account. Okay, so I'm doing profits or loss on disposal. So this is exactly what I am doing. Okay, now, so this is what I want to do. So individual account, I needed 2 items, I move on, all right? So let me see that. Okay, so I have my $ here. I'll say sales proceed. Okay, so I look at the question. It said, on 30th June, that's the second line, 30th June, it sold all of these shares for 250. Okay, so I sold for 250. That's all. Then I now look at less the kind amount of the shares sold. Okay, so I come into my notes and say less carrying amount of shares sold or disposed of. Okay, now what is the carrying amount? That's the cost I paid when I acquired. So it said Pastel purchased 80% of the shares in St. Marine 4 years ago for $100. Okay, so I come in $100,000. So I remove it so I can have $150,000. So obviously this is profit on disposal. Okay, now remember we're giving tax. It said tax is charged at 30%. Okay, so I'll now say tax due is I don't know yet, so I open brackets here. It said 30% multiplied by 150. Okay, so if I do 30% of 150, what would that give me? 10% of 150 should be I don't know why I'm not pressing calculator this evening. 45. Okay, but my brain is telling me okay, and that's part A of that question. It's as simple as that. So that's what the examiner or whoever is setting this question wants us to do around that area. Okay, so any concern, this is quite straightforward. So I don't think we should have any concern around here. Okay, I don't think we should have any concern around here. Then let me go straight to part B of the question. So sorry, this my marker cannot, my board cannot run, so I have to clean this so that I can do part B of the question. So I believe you can see this before I clean it. Any concern? Let me give you about 5 seconds. There's no concern, right? Okay. All right, so I can clean it, right? Okay. Now, so let's now do part B, which might look so much complicated. Let me see. I think I will need much of this board. Let me see if I can. Sorry. Right. Oh, sorry. Just want to see if I can divide the board. Okay, sorry. My hand is all straight, right? All right. So we are still on what's the name of this company? Pastel. Okay. We are still on Pastel. So we are dealing with food disposal. You can remember food disposal, and this is the group accounts for the purpose of group accounts. All right. So in the group accounting, so what happens around here? I needed 5 things. So I put up my $, don't forget. Okay. So I needed disposal proceeds. Okay. So I have a question, how much did I sell? It said I sold at 250. If you look at the question, okay, so I have 250 here, 250,000. So I'll now say fair value of interest retained. Full disposal, it will be 0. As simple as that. Okay, so it's going to be 0 because it's full disposal. So I have 250 here to be the total. So I'll now say less interest in subsidiary disposed of. Okay, all right. So I remember 3 things: net assets, goodwill, and NCI. As simple as that. So I'll now say net assets, that will be the net asset of subsidiary at disposal date. Okay, so I'm just managing the board over there. So net assets. I look at the question. Did he give me net asset at disposal? I said on that second line, I said the net asset of St. Mary at the acquisition date were $69 and at disposal date $88,000. So it gives me, so I'll say 88,000. Did you see that? Okay, so I will now look at the second item. It said goodwill. It has to be goodwill. Oh, sorry, goodwill at disposal. Okay, goodwill at disposal. Then I look at the question. Did you give me goodwill? The examiner did not give me goodwill. Brilliant question. I like this question. So we needed to compute our goodwill. So I'll now come to my working notes in my paper. So I will say workings. Okay. Goodwill computation. So that's what I'm doing. Now I already know. Sorry, let me just, because I can see myself from the screen. Let me drag my camera. I can use that, please. Okay, so done. I'm not sure whether you see me. I'm dragging my camera. Okay, so I have my Naira sign, dollar sign. So now when I'm doing my goodwill, I need to, normally the way we do our goodwill, so consideration transfer. So I can say cost of investment. I can also call it consideration transfer, anyone. So I will go to the question. It said 4 years ago for $100,000. So we have $100,000, okay. Then in my head, I remember NCI has to come up, right? NCI at acquisition. So I say NCI because goodwill is measured at acquisition date, okay? So at acquisition. Then I look at the question. Did you give me NCI at acquisition? Let me see. It said, okay, look at the second paragraph. The fair value of NCI interest in St. Mary at date of acquisition is $15. $15,000. Okay, so I add up so that I can have $115. Okay, so this is total investment. Okay, so I'll now let's say less fair value of net assets. Then I ask a question. Did you give me fair value of net assets? If it did not give me, I have to compute it. Okay, so let's find out if it gives me net, what's it called? He said the net assets of St. Mary at the date of acquisition is 69. So the guy gave me, so I will say 69,000. Okay, so I think that it's time for me to press calculator now. 115 minus 69. What's that giving me? Okay, 46. Okay, so I'll now say 46. Okay, so remember, this is goodwill on acquisition. Then I will ask, is there any impairment? The question will tell me, it said 50% of goodwill arising on acquisition has been written off. Okay, so I'll now say impairment. Impairment. Okay, 50%. So to be 50% of 46K. Okay, so half of that should be 23, if I'm correct. Okay, so I put it in jacket so that I can have 23. Okay, so this is goodwill on consolidation, and obviously on disposal, okay, because I'm disposing already. So I have my goodwill here to be 23. Okay, so it's because I'm managing space, I could have said working note 1 in brackets over there. Okay, so I have my goodwill there to be 23. Then I have one more item that is less carrying amount of NCI. Okay, so I look at the question. I was given NCI, okay, but I need to perform some adjustments around my NCI. My body is full. But let me see if I can manage a space here. Let me see. So I needed to compute my NCI. Okay, so remember how we compute NCI, right? So we say NCI in the question is 15, if you can remember. Okay, then I will now share post-acquisition profit. Okay, you remember, I'll share post-acquisition profit. So all I need to do is how much is my control? Control is 80%. So that means it's going to be 20% NCI. I'll say 20, then multiply by what is the net asset at acquisition? What's net asset at disposal? Okay, so I'll say 88 minus 69 is in your question. That's net asset at disposal and net assets at acquisition. So if I perform that calculator, computation, 88 minus 69 multiplied by 0.2. So it gives me what am I pressing? Let me do it 12. 88 minus 69, okay, multiplied by 0.2. So to give me 3.8, it gives me 3.8. So I come here, I said 3.8. Okay, so this is 3.8. Okay, sorry about that. Now, I will now ask, how did I measure goodwill or NCI? So it tells me, it said, it is a good policy to account for goodwill using full goodwill. So since it's full goodwill, that means our impairment of 23 will be allocated to both the parent and the NCI. So that means I will share part of this impairment in my NCI. So let me try to share that, and I perform the computation. So I'm sharing 0.2 times 23. So that will give me 4.6. Okay. So I would have said impairment here to be 4.6. So I remove it so that I can have my total figure. So what will be my total figure? So let me press calculator. 15 plus, everything is your note actually, plus 3.8, then minus 4.6. Okay, so that gives me 14.2. So that gives me 14.2. So that means the kind amount of my NCI here is 14.2. Okay, I can put it in jacket. So I do the permutation and combination. 88 plus 23, then minus 14.2. So that gives me sorry, how much is that? 96.8. Okay. Let me where's my marker? That's run away. Okay. 96.8. Okay. So when I remove from my disposal proceeds, okay, 96.8. So I'll say 250,000 minus 96.8. So what is that giving me? You're going to give me 153.2. So 153.200. Okay. So this is my profit or disposal. So it's a profit on disposal. Okay. And that's the end of that question. That's the end of the question. Any concern for me? Any concern? So you could see we are moving gradually to more complex computations. Okay. Okay, I think I have some questions here. Okay, I should explain the kind amount of NCI. Okay, fine. So obviously, you know the way we normally do NCI. Basically two things. If you are doing NCI, two things will always be there. The NCI itself. Okay, how do you do that NCI itself? Two ways. It's either you were given straight up the fair value, okay, or the examiner says NCI is measured at proportionate share. So in that case, you apply the percentage of NCI on the net assets, okay? That's the two ways. So the first way, it gives me the fair value. If it did not give me the fair value, it will give me the market price of the subsidiary. I multiply the market price with the share capital of the subsidiary, multiplied by the percentage of the NCI. So I have that. But in this question, it already gives me straight. It said 15. Okay. So that one is always there. Then the second thing that must be there is the share of post-acquisition profit. You remember, when you are doing your group accounting, you start from group structure, then you now do your net asset acquired. So when I'm doing my net asset acquired at the date of acquisition, I look at equity, I look at retained earnings. You can remember there's fair value adjustments, brand, depreciation, unrealized profit, and all of that, so that I can have my balance. That's the figures at acquisition. They also have figures at reporting dates. The difference between the pre-acquisition profit and the retained earnings as at the reporting date gives me my post-acquisition. Is that okay? Now, when it now comes to disposal, you have to now compare the kind amount of my net asset at acquisition to the point and the kind amount of the net assets at disposal. Okay, so that was if you look at the question, it said at acquisition date, the net asset is $69. Okay, so that was the $69 here. Can you see my cursor? All right, and it said at disposal date is 88. So this is 88. So the difference between the two is my post-acquisition profit. And now I apply 20%. So that's how we got this 8.8. Is that okay? Now, so those are the two things that has to be there when you are calculating the kind amount of NCI. It's sacrosanct. Whether you are using full goodwill or partial goodwill method in valuing your NCI. Then, once I have those two, I will now ask, am I valuing NCI using full basis or partial basis? If it is full basis, if there is impairment, it's going to be shared. So that impairment is 4.6. How do you get impairment? You already told me that 50% of goodwill has been written off. So that's how we got this 23. You can see my cursor, right? So I have to share that 23 with the NCI. So you now apply 20% of 23,000. Okay, so that gives us 4.6. So if you do the computation, you have 14.2. So I believe you understand that. Okay. Please throw more light on the NCI. Oh, I just did that. Did you understand now? Let me please confirm you understand now before I move to the next question. That's why I said I will take my time. Normally, we're supposed to finish this, go to control scenarios, finish everything, probably today or tomorrow, but no, I will really take my time. In fact, tomorrow, we still solve complex questions, okay? So I promise you that I'll still solve complex questions. Because in computing, I just like this your question, the NCI, this is for this question, okay? We can see some other question that you have so many issues, complications around computing the NCI. But I'm glad that we are understanding the basics. So we'll be moving little by little. Thank you for that question. Okay. So any other question? No. So let's move on. Let me see whether we can do the next question. Can I look for my slide? I'm looking for the slide. I've not seen it yet. Okay. I found it. Right. Okay, let's see. Let me even see if we are correct. Okay, we did the tax, right? I think we got 45. I remember. Okay, so we are correct actually. Oh, yeah, we got this. Yeah, brilliant. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we got this. Let me see that NCI. Yeah, we actually got it. Okay, so that's 3.8. Okay, so that's brilliant. We are on point. We are seriously on point. Okay. Now, let's look at question 3. Let's see. Let me just read it and see whether there is something interesting that we are not dealt with. I can use that question to deal with it. Okay. Let me look at the requirements as usual. Even in the exam, look at the requirement first. Okay. So that you have an idea of what the examiner is saying. So that as you're reading, you're already trying to think of how to approach that question. So now in the requirement said, assuming a full disposal of the holding and proceeds of 10 million, calculate the profit or loss arising in the individual financial statement and consolidation. Okay. And tax is 25%. Okay. So that looks pretty straightforward. Then Part B said, assuming a disposal of 35. Okay, so that here I have I retain some percentage, and proceed is 5 million. Then now say calculate profit arising on consolidation and how the residual shareholding will be accounted for. Simple question. Okay. He said, so let's look at it. He said, Aga, sorry. Just joking, I'm playing. Egg has held a 6% investment in Mamday for several years, using a full goodwill method to value NCI interest. Half of the goodwill has been impaired prior to the date of disposal of shares by Hague. Details are as follows. So we're giving cost, fair value of net asset, blah, blah, blah. So we're giving the requirement. Okay, brilliant. I think we need to solve this question. Yeah. So we look at part A of that question where they talked about, what's it called? Where they talked about the full goodwill, full disposal. Okay. So if I do, I think I can do question 1 for you, right? I can do A for you, you can do B. Abi? Yeah, it's very straightforward. Okay, so let me do 1. Let me do part A, then you can do B. So I'll just explain this, how to account for this for you. Okay. So let me do 1. If I can do the 2, no problem. Let's see whether I can get my board marker again. Oh, this thing, okay, so I found it. All right, so I need to clean the board. Okay, where is the razor? It's clean. Is it clean? No, not yet. Should be clean by now. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Okay, so here we are. Let me choose another color for this. Okay. Now, what's the name of this company? Where's the question here? Let me try and look for the question. Okay. Hague. All right. So here I am. I've seen a question, so it'll be easier for me to solve using the screen. Okay, so let's see. All right. So now he said, assuming full disposal of the holding and the proceed is 10 million. So he said I should do individual account first, then consolidated financial statement, and the tax is actually 25%. Okay, you know that tax will be applied on the individual's account. Don't forget. Okay. So let me see if I can do that. What's the name of this company? Egg, right? All right. This is full disposal. Abi? Assuming full disposal, yeah. So full disposal of subsidiary. Okay. So part A of the question is saying I should compute for individual account. That's FX. Okay. So that will be profit or loss on disposal. Okay. Thank you. All right. So since it's individual, I needed 2 things. Where is my sales proceed? So I will ask a question. So when I sold, okay, investment. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at the main body. So I just look at the requirement because I was wondering where is the sales proceed. So if you look at the requirements, it said assuming full disposal of holding and proceeds of 10 million. So that's 10 million. Okay, so instead of writing the whole 10 million, I can do in 1,000. All right. Okay, so that's fine. So I will now look for what's it called now? Carrying amount of shares sold or disposed of. I'll say carrying amount of shares sold. That is the cost. So how much is the cost of investment? Is that 6,000? $4,000. So it's a profit, right? I have when I bought it, I bought it for 6,000. I sold it above. Sorry. So I believe the internet is stable. I think I'm seeing internet connection. Okay, so this is profit on disposal. Okay, so we're giving tax. So I'll now say tax due. So I'll say tax due is, I don't know yet, what's the tax rate? I was giving 25% multiplied by $4,000. Okay, also if I apply 25% of 4,000, 25%, that should be $1,000. Okay, all right. That's part A of that question for full disposal of subsidiary. So that's pretty straightforward. So the examiner can, just give you some bonus mark. Maybe you have about 5 marks around here. Okay. Let's look at part B, but I high of this question. So this is A high. Okay, so we're going to look at high, A high. So I'll do that. Then probably you can do the other one by yourself. Once I do this part, you should be able to do the other one. Okay, so I can clean the board, right? It has to be clean the board. Though. So I can clean the board. Any concern? I'm just waiting a little bit in case we have some concern. So I believe there is no concern. So we are familiar with this. Okay, brilliant. So you can clean the board. You can clean the board. So let's see whether the board will clean. Yeah, it's clean. Oh, brilliant. Okay. Now, so let's go to what happens in the group account when it comes to full disposal. So what's the name of this company again? Hague, right? Oh, I've changed my color. Wow. Full disposal. Okay. Oh, I did not cancel. I was trying to underline. Okay. So that's full disposal, right? So I will say, sorry. Oh, somebody's trying to join. Right. Now, so what am I doing here? Oh, where's my pen? My pen has run away. Okay, it's here. So I'll say in the group financial statement, the group FX was going to be profit or loss on disposal of subsidiary. Okay. Can I really underline this? Let me try. Oh, it's not really straight. Okay. So when I have disposal, full disposal, or once it's affecting the group account, I needed 5 things. Okay. The first thing is disposal proceeds. Okay. I told you I need disposal proceeds. How much is that? Is that I should assume 10? Oh, so I'm still going to do something like this. Okay, so I have 10 here. Then I'll say fair value of interest retained. This is a pro forma, so you need to put it in your head. Fair value of interest retained. So my common sense will tell me that since it is a full disposal, I am not retaining anything. Okay, so I have my 10. I will now look for 3 more things. So I will say less interest in that subsidiary disposed of. Okay, I needed 3 things: net asset, goodwill, and ACR. So I will say net assets of subsidiary at disposal. Okay, at disposal date. Now I look at the question. Am I giving net asset of subsidiary at disposal date? Yes, I was giving. So it said it's 3,000. Okay, so I put it up there. Then I go to goodwill at disposal. Okay. Now, did he give me goodwill? No, he did not give me goodwill. So I need to compute. Brilliant question. I like this question. So let's look at the computation around that. I've already taken all the board. Let me see if I can manage here. Sorry. So I have workings. Okay, workings. So my working one is going to be goodwill. Okay, so how do I compute my goodwill? I already know, right? I look at my cost of investment. Has it given me? Yes, it said cost of investment is 6,000. Okay. Okay. Then I look at my, what's it called now? NCI. Okay, am I giving? It has to be NCI at, what's it called? At acquisition. Okay. So it said fair value, are you there? Fair value of a 40% investment at acquisition. So that's my NCI. Okay, so when I have this, I add up so that I can have how much? 7,000. So this is my total investment. Okay, I will now say, what's it called? Fair value of net assets at acquisition. So I'm going to ask, do I have fair value of net asset at acquisition? The examiner say yes, you have. Oh, so I have 2,000. Okay, so I'm just picking it from the question. So this gives me 5,000. Remember, this is goodwill. This is goodwill on acquisition. You can remember. Then I ask a question. Do I have impairment? It's going to tell me, said, half of the goodwill has been impaired. Half. So I say impairment. So in brackets, there's no space for me here. You just say 50% of 5,000 so that I can have 2,500. So if I remove this, my balance is going to be 2,500. Okay, so that is my goodwill. So I come here, I say goodwill, welcome back, 2,500. So here I'll say working one. Can you see that? I needed one more thing. That is the carrying amount. Okay, carrying amount of NCI at when? At disposal. Okay, so that's how to navigate your way through. Okay, so I look at the question. Am I giving kind amount of net asset at disposal? It did not, the kind amount of NCI at disposal, it did not give me. I needed to work it out as well. Where will I use? Where will I use? Okay, sorry. Let me try to see if I can manage here. So all I need to do is I will say NCI. Okay, so how much is my original NCI? Is in the question here. So it is 1,000. I will now share post-acquisition profits. Is that okay? So I look at the question. What was my net asset at acquisition and net asset at disposal? It will tell me. So if you look at it, net asset at acquisition is 2,000 and net asset at disposal is 3,000. So if you net the two off, I will now apply 40%. Okay, because I have 60% investment. I apply 40%. So if I apply 40% on 1,000, that will give me 400. Is that okay? Then I ask, goodwill that was impaired. Am I using full goodwill or I'm using proportionate share? He said I will use full goodwill. So that means that impairment is going to be shared by NCI. So 40% of 2,500, 40% of 2,500. How much is that? 40% of 2,500. I don't know why I'm not pressing calculator. That should be 1,000. Okay, so eventually my NCI is 400. So I'll now come here and say current amount of NCI is 400. Okay, so I do this. Can I perform that? That should be 55 minus 400. That gives me something like, is that 5,100? Okay, so I have 5,100. So if I net it off, I'm going to have something like 4,900. Okay, and that is my profit on disposal. That is the end of that question. So you can do part B on your own. The only thing is this, when you are doing part B, let me see whether I can do something for you here. Now, so when I'm doing part B, let me try to see what part B is saying. Say, assume a disposal of 35% holding and proceed of 5. So when I'm doing part B, so that means the proceed here will be 5, okay? Then I will now look at fair value of interest retained. Fair value of interest retained, okay? So from the question, let me look at the question. From the question, it said fair value of 25% investment at disposal is how much? 35. Can you see that? Okay, so that's what you are doing. So you net it off, you have a figure here. This will remain the same. Okay, then you can put your what's it called? Profit on disposal there. It's the same. Can you see? That's the only difference. You now ask in part B of that question, explain how the residual shareholding will be accounted for. Okay, you know I have 60% and I sold 35. So if I remove 35 from 60, that's 25. 25 will be accounted for using equity method. You apply IAS 28, investment in associates and joint venture. Okay, that's what the question is saying. That's what the question is saying. Any concern for me? Any concern for me? Any concern before I move away from here? In fact, I'm really fulfilled. I think we are doing more and we are seeing, some advanced question. And I promise you tomorrow, I will go back to step acquisition, come up with standard exam question tomorrow, and even full disposal again. And let me be sure, because this is number one. We can't escape it. Okay? Can't escape it. Either of the three, I've told you, either step acquisition mixed with media acquisition, disposal of subsidiary, or control to control scenario. You can't escape it. And if they want to do it, they put it in number one, number two, number three, all of them. Okay, so there's no point in rushing off. Okay, so I don't have any concern here. So let's go and check whether what we have done here is correct. Let me see if I can find my slide again. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, yeah, I remember we got this correctly. So that's the tax due. Let's see. Yeah, we got this. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, we computed our goodwill. We got this. Can you remember that 50%? So this is what I was saying. Okay, so brilliant. So we got this correctly. And part two of that question. Yeah, remember, okay. So this is the NCI post-acquisition. So you look at the net assets at disposal and net assets at, what's it called, at acquisition. Then impairment, because NCI is measured at full goodwill, okay? So that's how we have this one. So we had this 400. So we got it. We also got this profit on disposal. No, we didn't do this. Part B. Okay, this is part B. Yeah, we didn't do this, but I already explained. Can you see? This is it. So I put this. If you remember, I put this 5,035. So this remains the same. Now you can have this. So now say how the residual will be treated. Is there no investment in associates? So this is what I said. Okay. So you show the carrying amount in your statement of financial position, carrying amount in your investment in associate, and show profits, share of profit from associates in your SFP. You did that under basic group accounting, and that is it. That's it. Okay, so that's all. So now, so let's now see. So let me use the little time that we have to explain this. Then we can call it a day. So now, presentation of disposed subsidiary in the consolidated account. Now, so if I'm disposing a subsidiary, how do I present it in my account? Sorry. How do I present it in my account? So that's what I have water here. Sorry about that. Sorry. Okay. So how do I present my account? Now, the first method is I can use time apportionment line by line. Okay. In the consolidated profit or loss, you have your income expenses of the subsidiary. They are consolidated up to the date of disposal. So I consolidate till I disposal. So I will now, so what it means is I'm just using time apportionment line by line. Okay, that's the traditional way, is to time apportion each line of the disposed subsidiaries results. So the profit or loss on disposal of the subsidiary will now be presented as exceptional item. Is that okay? So you just consolidate up to the point of what's it called? Up to the point of disposal. Then you can show it as exceptional item. The other way, I'm going to show you in a question, okay? The other way is to treat the subsidiary as discontinued operations. Remember, we did discontinued operations under IFRS 5. You can remember asset held for sale and discontinued operations. And remember, we said certain criteria has to be met before a discontinued operation can be held for sale. And we said a discontinued operation is a component of an entity that has either been disposed of or is classified as held for sale. So if a subsidiary is disposed of during the year, how do I present it in my account? Okay, that's the issue around here. Now, remember that measurement of a discontinued operation, you're going to recognize the post-tax profit or loss for discontinued operations. 1, 2, then the post-tax gain or loss measured or recognized at fair value less cost to sell. You can remember, okay? So that's what this one is also saying. So the profit or loss of the subsidiary up to the point of disposal, then the profit or loss on the disposal of the subsidiary. So what was my profit up till the disposal? So I have to have that profit. Then what is the profit on disposal? Profit or loss on disposal? That's what we have been calculating earlier. Can you see? That's what we have been doing before now. There was the profit or loss of the subsidiary up to the point of disposal. So shortly before I dispose, am I making loss or am I making profit? After I have disposed, did I make loss? Did I make profit? So that's what this is saying. So you can treat that as IFRS 5. Now, in this question, it will now demonstrate how it will be presented. So let me just show you, let me just explain that. Now, so it said, let's look at this question. It said the statement of profit or loss extract. So we're giving extract. Now say additional information. The account of the Kathmandu Group do not include result of Nepal. That means they're not consolidated, right? On 1st January 2025, Kathmandu acquired 7% of shares of Nepal for $100,000 when the fair value of net assets was 110. NEPA has equity capital of $50,000. At the date, the fair value of NCI interest was $40,000. Sorry, there's a good policy to measure NCI at fair value. NEPA paid its 20x9 dividend in cash on 31 March 20x9. Okay, paid dividend. Oh, wow. Okay, so how much dividend am I giving? Oh, really? Yeah, it was giving dividend pay 10,000. Oh, brilliant. Because I was wondering, where's the figure? Now, goodwill had not been impaired. Brilliant. Okay, so now we're giving 3 requirements. Okay, it said prepare the group statement of profit or loss for year ended 31st December 20x9 for Kathmandu Group on the basis. Now, look at this. On the basis that Kathmandu PLC sold its holding in NEPA on 1st July, 20x9 for how much? $200,000. The disposal is not yet recognized. Can you see? They have not recognized this disposal in any way in Kathmandu Group's statement of profit or loss. Assume that NEPA does not represent a discontinued operation as per IFRS 5. The issue here, apart from the computation now, is how to present a disposal or subsidiary in the account. So that's the issue. So this first requirement is telling us that we should prepare group financial statement, that's profit or loss account, on the basis that they have sold, but they have not yet recognized, and assuming that NEPA does not represent a discontinued operations. Okay, so what do we do? Okay. Okay, now, so what do we do? Now, let me look at part B. So I'm going to show you shortly. Now, I said explain and illustrate how the presentation in the group financial, in the group statement of profit or loss would differ from part A if NEPA is represented as a discontinued operation as per IFRS 5. Okay, it's very simple. It's very simple. After your operating expenses, you say profit or loss on disposal in part A. In part B, it is a discontinued operation. You present it after what's it called? Profit after tax before you now present it. Okay, but I'll show you. So that's a prepare group financial statements for the year ended. On the basis that Kathmandu sold half of its holding. Hey, he didn't sell everything. Okay, he sold half of the holding. And this disposal is not yet recognized. Okay, the disposal is not yet recognized. So obviously, part C is also similar to part A. The only difference is we sold half here. Okay, we sold half here. We didn't here we sold all the holding. He said on the basis that Cameron sold its holding. Okay, so that's the difference. But the presentation for both are the same. Okay, so what do we do here? So I will use this slide for a question. Then I'll use the other slide to explain. Now here, he did not give me net assets. Okay, I have to compute it. Okay, so we have to compute. So sorry, let me try to take a look at that. Okay, now you go to your workings straight up. You go to your workings straight up. So we're going to do part A of the question. Can you see? Let me show you again. It said it is sold off its holding. So I sold everything. So I need to get my what's it called? Profit or loss on disposal. I needed, it's in the group, right? I needed 5 things. Can you remember? That's what we have been doing. Sales proceeds. Can you see? 200,000. How did we get that? You already told me NEPA on 1st July 2009. Can you see? 200,000. Now, I will now look, because it's full disposal, I don't have fair value of interest retained. Is that okay? So I'll now say net assets at disposal. So I needed to work out my net assets. Unlike the question we have been dealing with, I needed to work out my net assets. Okay, so what do I do? So how do we do our net assets? So we look at share capital. If you can remember how we normally do our net asset acquired. Okay, so let's see. It says here, NEPA has equity capital of how much? Can you see? 50,000. Okay, then I'm interested in my retained earnings. Okay, so I have a retained earnings of 80 here. Okay, I have a retained earnings of 80 there. Can you see? So this is how I got my share capital and the retained earnings. Remember that that's my retained earnings that I'm bringing up. Then I acquire when? Now it said on 1st January, I acquired. Be with me here. This is mid-year acquisition, okay? And since it is mid-year acquisition, I needed to also get my pre and post, okay, profit. So it is mid-year. Then I ask, how many months into the year? Now, if you look at here, it said I should prepare up to December 20X9. That is when the accounting period is ending. That means the beginning of this accounting period is what's it called? The beginning of this accounting period is when? That would be in January, Abby. Okay, so that's in January. Okay, now, sorry, excuse me, sorry. Okay, so that's it. Now, so that's the end of the accounting period. That's on the basis that sold its holding on 1st July. So I sold all my holdings on 1st July. So that means I'll get a profit up to that date, up to the date of disposal, and that is 6 months. So what was the profit for the full year? The profit of NEPA for full year is 36. So I have to prorate that 36. So that's what happened here. Okay, so that's what happened there. So I prorate because I have to get the profit up to the disposal date. Then they said they pay dividend. So I remove it so that I can get my net asset at disposal. So that's how we got this 138. Okay, then I go to my goodwill. Everybody understood how to get goodwill. How much is the cost of this investment? I come to the question. He said 100. Is it 100? Sorry. Okay, yeah, 70% of shares of NEPA for 100. Can you see that? So that is 100. Okay, so that's 100. So that's the cost of the investment. Then I look at NCI. Did he give me figure for NCI? We're going to find out. He said at that date, the fair value of, you see now, you will just be asking the right question, and the question will be supplying you the answer. Forget how big a question is. Ask the right question. Okay? So already giving me NCI, so that's what we got. Then fair value of net asset at acquisition. Okay? At acquisition, we have done it now. Yeah. No, sorry. We did the disposal. So at acquisition, it said net asset is 110. Can you see that? So when I acquire, the net asset is 110. So you have seen, now what this question has taught us is how to do net asset at disposal. Okay, everybody understood how to do net asset at acquisition. Is that okay? So now, so we got 30 for our goodwill. So I bring on my goodwill here, which is this 30. Okay, I'll now compute NCI at disposal, just what we have been doing. Is that okay? How much is my NCI at acquisition? I need to share post-acquisition profit, which is the fair value of NCI at acquisition 110 and fair value of NCI at disposal 138. Is that okay? That's it. So I share, and I can have my NCI to be 48. So I bring it on here, 48.8, and I have my profit on disposal. So I'm actually interested in this profit on disposal. How do I present it in my account? Okay, so I now go to that account so everybody can consolidate in part A of the question. Let me show you again. It said, it said prepare group accounts, as at the end of the year on the basis that Kathmandu PLC sold its holding. So I've shown you that this disposal is not yet recognized in any way in the account, assuming that Nepal does not represent a discontinued operation. So what do I do? So after you have consolidated your revenue, can you see that? You have to prorate because you do up to the point of disposal. Okay, you have your operating profit, investment income. You now say profit on disposal. Working note 1. That's it. So you do it shortly before you get your PBIT, or let's say profit before tax, PBT. Okay. So that's because it doesn't represent a discontinued operations. So you bring it on here. Every other thing is quite straightforward. I also told you yesterday how to compute your NCI. Can you remember how to compute your NCI? So if I want to compute my NCI, I wanted to share this once. Let me do it again. I did it yesterday. Let me do it again. 162,400. I want to share between the parent and the NCI. I simply go to the account. Okay. I simply go to the account. How much is the profit for the year? It is 36. Is that okay? Can you see? It is 36. So all I need to do is to now look for impairment, depreciation, realized profit if this subsidiary is selling to the parent, and remove it from that figure. It's as simple as that. So let me quickly show you, sorry. So that's it. Can you see? So I picked this 36. I prorate it because it's 6 months. I dispose 6 months. Okay, so that I can have 18. Now, this did not give me, what's it called? Impairment. Sorry, let me see. Do we have any impairment? Okay, it said goodwill has not been impaired. So that's why I'm not charging that goodwill. Okay, now, now I applied 30%, okay, so that I can have this 5-4. You do see that? Okay, so that's how to share. So you now go to the accounts, for example. So I have this 5-4 because I'm sharing, sorry, I'm seeing on part A. So I have this 5-4. So the balance, I'm sharing this 1642. So the balance will now go to the parent. That's it. So that's what we are doing. Okay. Now, in the part B of that question, sorry, now say, explain and illustrate how the presentation of the group statement of profit or loss would differ from part A if NEPA represented a discontinued activity per IFRS 5. Sorry. So what will I do in part B? Discontinued operations. It's very simple. remember the first one we did, because it's not a discontinued operation, I present that 8,400 shortly before my profit before tax. If it is not a discontinued operation, it has to be after tax. Okay, I would have applied my tax. And remember, because it's a discontinued operation, I will not consolidate because I have disposed it during the year. Is that okay? So it is a discontinued operation. So if you look at this revenue, it will only be for the parent alone. I will not consolidate. If you are doing ICANN, please take note of this. If you are doing ACC, obviously, you just explain. Nobody asks you to start doing revenue or all of that. But there's no crime in also knowing this. So I will not consolidate. So after my tax, I will now say profit from continuing operation, obviously that's profit after tax. So I'll now say profit from discontinued operations. I'm showing two things. What is the profit up to the point of disposal? That is that 36 in the question. I prorate it. You remember, I showed you earlier. Let me come back here. Sorry. How to present it. Can you see the profit or loss of the subsidiary up to the disposal date? Did you see it now? So that's what we did here. Okay. Then the second one, what is the profit or loss on the disposal itself of the subsidiary? We have computed it. We got 8,400. So you add it up and you have this figure. And that's what part B is saying. Can you see? You are only doing one calculation, then you do it on, on that. So if it is treated as a discontinued operation under IFRS 5, then part C of the question. This one is just saying Kathmandu sold half. The first one we did is full disposal. So he said half. Okay, so you do your computation. I'm sure you should be able to deal with that. Let me see, did I do it here? Okay, so proceeds, then fair value that you retain. This will remain the same. Okay, this will remain the same. We still have our 8,400. Is that okay? So it's the same. The only thing is you are bringing on, you said he sold half. So if he's selling half, that means he didn't sell everything. Okay, so in your account, let me look at the requirement again. Okay, it said the disposal is not yet recognized in any way in Kathmandu statement. So the result of holding 35 is 100,000, at least Kathmandu Group significant influence. Okay, so I'll come to my account. It's the same way with A part of the question. Can you see? I will show that profit on disposal before profit before tax, just the way we did question 1. So because the partial disposal, I will still consolidate, and that's the end of that question. Okay, any concern for me? Any concern for me? Okay, so by God's grace tomorrow, I'll check more questions on step acquisition. So if I see on disposal, I will also bring it on. So that's what we are doing tomorrow. The next day, by God's grace, I'll start off with control to control scenarios. I have 80%, I increase to 85, or I have 80%, I reduce to 75. What happens? I don't want to, load you with too much information. So go and sit on step acquisition, sit on disposal of subsidiary, and make sure you are cool on them. I'm going to see you tomorrow by God's grace. Do you have any further question for me before we call it a day? Before we call it a day, do you have any further question for me? No question, so I can say I'll see you tomorrow by God's grace. Have a wonderful night rest. Good night. Thank you.